When we look at governance, the concerns that governance addresses or the government through the process of governance try to address, we notice that in different time periods, in different era, different concerns come to the limelight. They become more paramount. For instance, if we go back many hundreds of years to perhaps agrarian societies, we can visualize, we can imagine that concerns of governance had predominantly to do with the agrarian society, the farming community, and so on. Fast forward several hundred years, or maybe even 1,000 years, we come to the era of Industrial Revolution. And here we can imagine the concerns of governance perhaps were very different from those which existed in the agrarian times. Industrial Revolution, as we know, brought in was a kind of a period where there was a shift from focus on the agrarian society to more industrial production, manufacturing, different ways of financing, and so on. So when we look at the different time frames, we are not just looking at the policies in isolation which address a particular dominant group of society, but we are looking at a very broad governance concern. For instance, if you look at Industrial Revolution, the government of those periods must certainly have been concerned with how to promote manufacturing. Transportation was a key requirement for the spread of Industrial Revolution. So the governance concerns, the policy issues of those times must have required looking into not just manufacturing but also transportation, communication. Industrial Revolution required very different kind of financing. So the policies of those times, the governance issues of those times must have factored in the financing, the economic consideration. So we actually notice that when we talk about governance and not merely governments, we are talking about a different set of concerns, policy issues, implementation frameworks, and so on. And now, to come to the present, we are talking about governance in the era of internet, governance in the era of social media, governance in the era of mobiles. So we can certainly conclude that the governance issues of today are going to be very different from those which existed during the Industrial Revolution or the agrarian time.